Hello YouTube. Today is my birthday and I got a gift here and I've been waiting for this freaking book for so long and it finally came out and I was thankful enough to get it for as a gift, and it is Gears of War The Slab by Karen Traviss. It is the 5th book of the Gears of War books and I'm super excited to read this book. And I've been waiting ever since they announced it during the release of Gears of War 3. Like, they announced it, and I was so excited because I read all the other 4 books, which are right here. And I thought I would do a little recap of the books. This is not a review, like a detailed review, but this is just a recap. So don't expect details. I'm just gonna go over like what it's about because I want you guys to read it because they're so awesome. These books are like amazing. You have to read them. I don't want to do a review and spoil stuff for you, even though I'll give you some spoilers, but it's just a little recap. And I'll start off with the first book in the series, which is called Aspho Fields. This is probably my favorite book of the series because it's awesome. In each of the books, there's a present story and a flashback story, and the flashback story in this one is by far my favorite one so far because it talks about them in the Pendulum Wars. But basically, the present story is about right after Gears of War 1 when they did the Lightmass bomb and how they are dealing with the locusts popping up here and there, and basically talks about what they're doing in between Gears of War 1 and 2, and it's really cool stuff to see. It introduces a new character named Bernie Mataki, and she is badass. She's my second favorite character because of these books, and she had a little cameo in Gears of War 3, like that one chick with Hoffman. She is so awesome. She's a sniper and a survivalist expert. She teaches them all they know about surviving because she trained them when they first joined the COG. And the flashback story of this one is first off, it talks about Marcus when he was a child and what his life was like. How his mom was a biologist. She got lost underground in Jacinto, Myra, the queen. Just saying. And talks about how he met the Santiagos in school, and basically how the Santiago's home became his home because his dad was always working. And it's really awesome to see him and how Marcus and Carlos joined the COG, and Dom was not quite old enough. They joined when they were 18, and Dom was only like 16, I believe. But yet Dom joined when he was 18 or 17, and he became a commando. And Hoffman was his CO too, so that's pretty cool. But the flashback is the Aspho Fields, basically them getting the blueprints to the satellite weapon, which is the Hammer of Dawn, and it talks about the little war they did with the UIR, which is I think it was the Union of Independent Republics. This is back when they were fighting humans in the Pendulum Wars. Flashback is, and a really awesome book, really awesome. And we'll go to the second book. Like I said, this is just a recap, not a full detailed review, so I just want to do it kind of fast. Jacinto's Remnant. This book is awesome as well. This book takes place seconds after the second game ends, when they're on the helicopter. Yeah, it's a helicopter. Flying around. You know how it shows Marcus' point of view, where's Anya, and blah blah blah. But this one is from Anya's point of view, and so on. And talks about what they do to survive. Basically, the COG and the Jacinto civilians, they go to a place called Port Farrell, and this is in the winter, so it's freezing cold. And they try to make base over there. They set up camp, and it's just too hard because you got locusts popping up, little groups of locusts popping up here and there, and plus the cold and the hunger is killing off these civilians. And I'm not gonna tell you how, but Dom does try to commit suicide in this book, so it's intense. And then when it's getting too rough on Port Farrell, they start scanning the islands, so they think it would be a good place to go, which I would think that too. And they find Vectis, which is a naval COG base that still has civilians on it, COG civilians. And these people have never seen locusts before, ever. And but they've heard about the war and everything. Of course, they know about it. They've never seen them before, so they have no clue what these people have been through. And all of them are coming onto their island. It's crazy, but there's no grubs, no locust fighting, but they do have to fight stranded, which is a cool transition to see them fighting locusts to their own people again. And they find the Grozny, which is part of the UIR, and they join the COG because the COG has resources they need, and then the Grozny have a motion rig, which they need to get emotions, which is basically fuel in this world. And yes, it's freaking awesome. They're fighting stranded. They join up with old enemies. Awesome. And the flashback is of when Prescott and Hoffman deploy the Hammer of Dawn and blow up the world, basically. It's freaking awesome. You basically give everyone 3 days to get to Ephyra, which is where Descento's at, and this is not a lot of people make it. And it's cool to see their reactions, and it's really disturbing, kind of. And it shows how Hoffman's wife dies, because she's crazy, kind of. Well, I don't blame her, but yeah, this book was awesome. It takes us to the third book, which is Anvil Gate. In this book, the present story is right after the second books. Lead you up even more. Stranded war is getting bad. Trying to keep doing attacks on them. They're trying to join the COG, and then I heard knocking. It leads up, so it introduces the Lambent threat, which is kind of crazy. And yeah, the flashback is of the Anvil. The flashback is of Anvil Gate. Basically, Hoffman. It's about Hoffman trying to keep this place. It's basically a fortress, a base surrounded by mountains. There's only one way in and out, and it's an awesome place. So the UIR is trying to take it over. It has Sam's father in here, and shows how he dies, and his name is Sam Byrne. And Hoffman does something against his moral code. So it is a really interesting book. I liked it a lot. That's the third one of the series. And then the fourth one, Coalition's End. This book is probably my second favorite because it's so awesome. Epic stuff happens in here. The present story is of them all the way up, leads you all the way up to Gears of War 3. The Lambent threat is getting really bad. The Stranded have left the island, so it's basically just theirs now. But the Lambent is starting to take over the island, and shit's getting really bad. So they're getting desperate, looking for places on land to go to again. But there's stocks everywhere. And Prescott leaves to his secret base. Spoiler alert. Sorry. And everyone gets pissed off at him. Basically, when Prescott leaves, Hoffman, Trescu, and Michelson take over. Michelson is the leader of the Navy COG, and Trescu is the leader of the Grozny. And Hoffman is Hoffman, of course. And yeah, it leads up to Gears of War 3. The Lambent is getting too crazy. Prescott flees to his base to give samples to Adam for his work to try to defeat it. And it's really interesting to see the COG disperse. And basically, it gets so bad that they have to leave the island. Hoffman goes to Anvil Gate. Trescu goes back to his island with the Grozny, and Michelson takes the helicarrier boat, which you see in Gears of War 3 with Marcus and everyone. And the flashback is of Dizzy and Cole. And Dizzy's is when the hammer went off, how he was stranded and how he became part of the COG, which is pretty cool to see. And Cole's is him before the Locust came out. Is him the day the Locust came out, what he was doing and how he survived and stuff. And it is a really awesome book. I loved it. And then yeah, I just got the 5th book. I'm super excited to read this. I've already read the first chapter. It's freaking crazy. And once I read it, I'll do a little recap on this one as well. So yes, super excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thank you.